Kick it and go. Kick it and go. With a stiff on, spin move, in zone, go. From sideline to touchdown and put on the show. Kick it and go. I had to kick off and go. Kick it and go. I had to kick off and go. With a stiff on, spin move, in zone, go.
Yeah. Ay. Yeah. Ay. Yeah. Boys. Yeah. Hold on. We them boys. We them boys. We making noise. Hold on. We them boys. We them boys. We making noise. We them boys. Pop a bottle. If you suck and swallow, smell them and don't worry, man, gon' follow. Throwing money on her like she won a lotto. So he must be serious. Scared of heights, come face your fears. Do it just like Nikki, gone and bend it over. Say she never smoked, I turned her to a stoner. Young, but I'm ready. Foreign girls call me sexy. And white girls give me Becky. But first I gotta roll this joint, baby, hold on. We them boys. We them boys. We making noise. We them boys. We them boys. We making noise. We them boys.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Hold up. You drive me crazy. Number one, you can't replace me. Leader Claudius be trying to chase me. You got an ass so fat, let's make a baby. And I'm smoking my Mercedes. Hold up, these niggas broke, these niggas lazy. Man, they money slim, they acting shady. I'm in my brand new car, who wanna race? Oh, ain't call my phone, so why you showing up? Never. I'm taking them shots on my, they loaded up. Man, on the low, all these be acting so material. Hold up, man, did you see her interior? Hold up, we them boys. We them boys. We making noise. Hold up. We them boys.
Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
What's going on, Eagles Nation? Welcome back to the channel, man. Before we get into today's video, man, everybody gotta rub their helmet, man. You gotta rub their helmet. Go ahead, rub it. Go ahead, rub that helmet. Go Birds, baby. Man, it is what's today? Saturday. Wow, man, game day is tomorrow, man. I hope you guys had a good week, man. Hope everybody had a great holiday. Shout out to Christopher, man, already in the chat showing love. Shout out to my boy Mike. He says, off topic, but why do the Giants fans think Eli was a good quarterback? I have no idea, but I'll tell you what, man, this NFC's about to be jumping. You got Jalen Hurts. Obviously, you got Dak Prescott, whatever he has left. You got Jaden Daniels, J5. And then, man, the Giants, I'm hearing it's going to be Shador or Cam Ward. That's going to be crazy, man. So I'm glad the Eagles got young guys like Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and all of those Georgia guys, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper, DeJean, right? Because we're going to need to have a young defense, man, to compete year in and year out, man. So shout out to you guys. Amos says, Bryce Huff time. Listen, so this game, I don't know about you guys, but for me, man, this is just like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, they don't have their quarterback. We don't have our quarterback. They don't have CeeDee Lamb. We don't have Jalen Hurts. Like, it's just one of those games, man. For me, I'm all about, honestly, guys, I'm all about Saquon Barkley. To me, this is the Saquon Barkley. Sorry about that, guys. Bentley says Cowboys 17, Eagles 45. I'll take it. For me, man, I'm all about Saquon Barkley. To me, this is all about Saquon Barkley getting the Eric Dickerson record. I think Saquon is what? Let me pull it up. I think he has almost 1,800 yards. Let me see. Let's look at the stats. Saquon Barkley stats. All right, let's look it up. All right, Saquon Barkley has 1,838 yards. All right, so the record is 2,105. So let's see here. 2,105 minus 1,838. It's 267. It's 267. I think Saquon could get that. I think Saquon can get that, honestly. What's that divided by 2? We got 2 games left. $133. Saquon Barkley gonna get that record. Man, Saquon Barkley gonna get that record. You understand me? Saquon Barkley. White 80, white 80. White 80, I say. Saquon Barkley is gonna get that record. I'm telling you guys that right now. Saquon Barkley needs $133. He needs 133 yards, basically 135 yards to get the record. I think he does it. I think he does it, man. I think Saquon Barkley gets the record. Yeah. You know, another thing is that I'm not concerned about, but let me take this damn helmet off. Where my head at? I ain't gonna hold y'all. Hey. Oh. I ain't got my haircut. But honestly, right now, let me see. The Eagles got to get healthy, man. I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. Obviously, Bryce Huff is coming back. We'll see what he's able to bring to this defensive line. But, I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles, we already have the #1 rated defense of all of football. And we did it without Bryce Huff. So, honestly, I don't know as a fan, like, what you expect Bryce Huff to do. What are we asking him to do? You know, honestly, I feel bad for Bryce Huff because, you know, Howie Roseman was able to see, Vic Fangio is able to see, he's able to have a #1 rated defense without said guy, without the $50 million player, right? And so I don't know how long Bryce Huff is going to be around. I'm going to be quite honest. I think Howie Roseman, he cuts his ties. You know, I just, you know, you got to get what you can get for him. But we'll see what he can add. You know, what I will say is Bryce Huff is a guy, along with Brandon Graham, who they're going to make that defensive front fresh. That's what those guys do, right? I feel like at this point in the season, that's what Bryce Huff and Brandon Graham, he's going to allow Josh Sweat to be more fresh. He's going to allow the young guy, Jalix Hunt, to be fresh. He's going to allow Nolan Smith Jr. to be fresh. That's what their presence is going to do for this defense. And whenever you have a fresh defensive line that could play physical football for 4 quarters is always going to benefit us, the Philadelphia Eagles. So Chris says Barkley would need 133 in each game if we win. I don't see us playing him against the Giants. I can see that. Because you need Saquon Barkley is more important to the Super Bowl than he is to breaking that stat. So Chris, you're 100% right on that. Me personally, I go back to when we played the Giants, they took him out. If I'm Nick Sirianni, I say, man, he's so close, you got to try. That's just to me. And I remember against the Giants, he was like, I don't know if he had like a $180. And I think he needed like 200 yards to eclipse like his most all-time rushing yards in a game. And, Nick Sirianni was like, you want to go out there? And Saquon was like, nah, man, just let the young boys eat. So this time around, if I'm Nick Sirianni, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to let the young boys eat. Just me. Now, I know what they'll probably do. They'll probably sit them and rest them. But for me as a coach, I'll say, man, listen, it's not every day you get 1,800 yards. Like, even 5-10 years ago, 1,800 yards is crazy, right? So it's not every day you get 1,800 yards. Go ahead and go for it. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles have already ran him the most in his career. I think he has 314 rushing attempts. So, I mean, what's 2 games going to hurt, right? Now, Mike says, LOL, the Giants players should let him get it. They should, man. That's the least they could do. If I'm Kayvon Thibodeau, I'm like, go ahead. If I'm Sexy Dexy, I'm like, man, go ahead, do your thing, man. Go ahead, get it. I would, I would definitely let Saquon get it. Here's the good thing about Jalen Hurts and his injury. Obviously it's never good when a guy goes down and he's injured, especially if he's your franchise quarterback and you want him to lead you to the Super Bowl. But I think with Jalen Hurts, man, this is going to be a good time, right? This is a good time for him to reset, for him to reboot, get his body back up under him, get his feet back up under him. No pun intended, get his head right. But this will be a good time for Jalen. Jalen is not one of those players where if he takes a game off, he misses a beat, right? He's so tapped in on the football field and off the football field. Those are not really your concerns. So I'm actually glad that it wasn't anything serious. It's a concussion. He's going to recover. He is recovering. And I think it'll be like another mini bye week for Jalen Hurts. And I think if there's anybody on your football team that you want healthy, it's going to be Jalen Hurts. You want that guy to be Jalen Hurts. So I'm excited about that. Chris says, if you play Barkley, you got to play the whole O-line. Not worth it. Let's get the chip. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think you could play it multiple different ways. 1,800 yards is a lot of yards. He's already, Chris, I can see it from that perspective because he's already broken the Philadelphia Eagles single game rushing record. So I definitely get it. But it is football, man. Like with Jalen Hurts, like you just never know. Anything can happen, even in the playoffs, right? So, but I do think there is something to be said, when you think about the last couple of weeks, right? I mean, Landon Dickerson went down with a knee. Lane Johnson went down. Darius Slade went down. That's just his thing. He goes down. Father Time is just on him bad, but he goes down. So I do think there's a fine balance. I think there's a fine balance, man. Look, there's no point of being 12-3 and then you go into the playoffs without your franchise quarterback, right? So we did all that for naught, right? So I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Donald Martin, man, what's going on? He said, what's up, Gary Fly, Eagles Fly? What's going on, bro? Hopefully you had a good day, man. Hopefully your family as well. Appreciate you for checking in, man. Thank y'all so much for checking in. Yeah, man, look, it's Dallas week. It's obviously we know that they're not fully loaded. We're not fully loaded. But I think, honestly, man, I'm looking at this. Like, all right, we just need to get to the playoffs healthy. Honestly, we need everybody healthy. A.J. Brown was a little nicked up, right? He had some knee concerns. Let's get him healthy. So, Chris, I don't know, man. Maybe you're right. Maybe sometimes you got to lose the fight to win the war. I think they will give him an opportunity. Depending on how Saquon Barkley does the first and second quarter, like, you guys got to think, Saquon, if Jalen didn't go down against the Commanders, Saquon, he probably would have had 300 yards. He had a $109 in the first quarter, right? So, it's just one of those things. We'll see. I hopefully it's a game, man, where the first two quarters, Saquon Barkley, he's able to break one. Scatter for 75, scatter for 80, then go ahead and hit him with, 20-yarder, 15-yarder, 10-yarder, get your 9-yarder, boom, get you out of there. If Saquon Barkley, this is what I would do. I would say, hey, Saquon, we have plans to play you, but we're going to play you only for the first half, right? So if you want to get that record, you're going to have to do it the first half. So I think that's fair. Chris, do you think that's a healthy balance? I think that's something that we can do. Hey, Saquon, the guys, they're going to go all out. We're going to try to get it. We're going to give you the chance because you're really close, but we're not going to play the entire game. We want to save your body. At least if you can save 2 quarters against the Cowboys and 2 quarters against the Giants, that basically is a full game, right? So that's something that I will probably do. Donald says, I think it's belt to ass against the Cowgirls. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, I just think, obviously, look, the Philadelphia Eagles have the #1 rated defense. Like, it's legit. It's legit the #1 rated defense. Like, there is no hey, is it a fluke? Hey, who is Zach Bond? What is he? Can the Kobe Dean stay healthy? What does this guy do? What does Ken Jordan? What Jalen? All of those questions. Can DeJean step up? What does Quinion do? Like, all of those questions are that way. Nobody's asking those questions, man. The Philadelphia Eagles, listen, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. All right. If it flies like an eagle, if it looks like an eagle, right? If it wins like an eagle, fellas, it's an eagle, right? So Philadelphia Eagles, #1 rated defense, and it's been like that for several weeks now. So we are what we are, and I believe that our defense, even outside of our offense against the Cowboys, we're just going to be too overwhelming against the Cowboys, especially without CeeDee Lamb. I think that's a big blow for them. They don't have CeeDee Lamb. He's out, right? So you don't even have a playmaker. So now you're asking Quinion Mitchell to shut down who, right? So if the Eagles lose this game, I would be very surprised. But, I doubt it. Chris says, one second, let me get back to this. Chris says, I think that if someone on the O-line or Barkley himself gets seriously hurt and it cost us, we will never forgive Nick. Yeah, I think that's true. I think it's true. It's true. It's true. Speaking of Nick Sirianni, did you guys hear about what he said after the game, after the Commanders game, to Zach Ertz? Basically telling him that he didn't do much to contribute to the win. I don't know how I feel about that. I've always been, Eagles fan that really, I never liked how Zach Ertz departed, but I've always kept my respect intact for him. I don't know if I like that, right? Obviously, Zach Ertz, he's an Eagle legend. Does his legacies take a hit because he's with the Commanders and he went to Arizona, I believe? I think it takes a hit, but I still think you can't forget who Zach Ertz is. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Nick Sirianni should have took that route. He's well respected. Like, we're talking, Nick Sirianni is talking to Zach Ertz like he is Wendell Smallwood or something. Like, that's Zach Ertz. Zach freaking Ertz. So, one of the greatest tight ends of all of Eagle history. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'll be honest with you guys. It rubbed me the wrong way. Especially coming from Nick Sirianni. Like the comment to suggest that Zach Ertz didn't have much to do with the win is kind of crazy. When Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie literally took play calling from you. Literally took you off the offense completely. Literally told you, listen, man, just sit back, relax, and don't touch anything. Right? So, you know, I don't know. I just let me know how you guys feel about that. To me, it rubbed me the wrong way. It's almost like Nick Sirianni, you're arguing early in the season. In the season, you were arguing with the fans. You were yelling back and forth at the fans. You're yelling back and forth at your best young defensive superstar, at Jalen Carter. Now, after a loss, you're taunting a former legend player. That I don't understand his wiring. I don't get Nick Sirianni. I just think he's not that great of a coach. Like when you only play Division III football, right? You can't talk to a Super Bowl winning player like he's a nobody. So I don't know. Amen says, did you hear that Nakobe Dean is dutifulness to play and Oren Burks will take his place? Me personally, I understand Oren Burks has more experience than Jeremiah Trotter Jr. So, amen. So is Nakobe Dean hurt and Owen Burks is going to take his spot? Let me know about that. Mike, that TD on Q was a fluke. Yeah, it wasn't like it was one-on-one. It wasn't like it was like man-on-man. Literally, Q bit, and he had to try to get backside, and that was it. He should have safety help, really. It really should have been safety help. Donald Martin says, I think we let Barkley get the record and we get a large enough lead on the Cowgirls and we rest our guys in the postseason. That would be ideal, man. That would be ideal. You know, me personally, Saquon Barkley, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If he doesn't run another down for the Philadelphia Eagles, that contract was worth it, right? The signing was worth it. I mean, your first year, you're 237 yards from putting up 2,000 yards. You're doing in one season what it take an average running back to do in 2 seasons. The Eagles got it right. The Eagles got it right with Saquon Barkley. It was risky. It was risky, but Saquon Barkley is Saquon Barkley. And he's one of those players, man. His mindset and his drive is what makes him great. Mike says, as he should, F Zach Ertz, bring back trash talking. Yeah, I like that. You know what, Mike? I like the trash talking side of it. And like I said, Zach Ertz, he definitely rubbed me the wrong way, especially when you look at guys like Brandon Graham, who's made it work, who is take less money to stay. That's why Zach Ertz rubs me the wrong way, because you're crying in your press conference. I don't want to leave Philadelphia, but you didn't go upstairs in Howie Roseman's office and try to make it work. You felt like you were worth more than what you were, and so therefore you felt like, and I get it. You had another kid. Get your money. Go get your cheese. I get it. But I'm saying it's the dramatics. It's the crying and all of that. Like, you're a grown man. If you want to stay in Philadelphia, stay in Philadelphia. At some point, what was he, 33, 34? Listen, man, you've earned all the money you can make. Right? So if this is really going to be home for you, if you really love Philly so much, you should have stayed and made it work. But I'll say this, I just didn't, like, if a player said that to Zach Ertz, like, I will respect it more. If Lane Johnson, right? If Lane Johnson said that to Zach Ertz, I will respect it more. Not Nick Sirianni. Not Nick Sirianni. Like, you can't tell Zach Ertz he didn't do anything to contribute to the win, yet you didn't do anything this entire season to contribute to the Eagles being 12-3. You contributed to a lot of losses. I was at the Atlanta Falcons game when we lost that game. It should have been a win. So that's just me personally. I'm cool with the trash talking. It's just the thinking. He had Nick Sirianni has stinking thinking. OG said, man, you got stinking thinking. Nick Sirianni has stinking thinking, man. It's like, what are you thinking? So, yeah, you know, we got to get guys healthy. I need A.J. Brown healthy. I mean, man, I'm telling you guys, this thing's going to come together like we getting Jalen back come to playoffs. We getting Dallas Goedert back come to playoffs. We getting Brandon Graham back, Huff, right? I think this thing is going to come together. And I'm telling you, we're going to keep turning like a well-oiled machine, man. A well-oiled machine. I don't know, but I personally think it just feels like it's our year. It does, man. It feels like it's our year. It feels like we have players that understand, like, man, we're not going to get this again. Saquon Barkley knows. He knows it's not easy to get 1,800 to almost 2,000 yards in a season. I think we have the right mindset, right? And I think if we could get guys healthy, if we could get guys fresh, the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm telling you, we're going to make some noise in the playoffs. We're going to make some noise, and they're going to feel us. They're going to feel us for sure. So, I don't know, man. To me, this is one of those wash games. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, on to the next subject. I want to talk to you guys about Quinyon Mitchell. Now, obviously, Quinyon Mitchell's been balling out all year. He's to me, Pro Bowler. He's also, to me, he should be the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Everybody's saying Jared Verse over at LA. I get Jared Verse. He has like, I think 4.5 sacks. I don't know. I think if he had maybe 8 to 10 sacks, I think he's not even double-digit sacks. So I don't understand why he's automatically just thrown up there at the top. You know, for me, when I think about Quinyon Mitchell, I think about a player like he's on the number 1 rated defense. Like the Philadelphia Eagles have the number 1 rated defense, yet they have a rookie cornerback and they have an aging, long in the tooth veteran cornerback in Darius Slay. So to me, it says a lot about Quinyon Mitchell. Like, I'm sorry, but I love Keely Ringo. I do. But this is more about Quinyon Mitchell. If you take Quinyon Mitchell out of the Philadelphia Eagles starting lineup, I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles have the number 1 rated defense of all of football. Especially when you think about since week 1, who Quinyon Mitchell had to go against. Christian Watson, Jamar Chase, Mike Evans, Rashid Shaheed, Malik Neighbors, all of those guys, right? Quinyon Mitchell, he stepped up and he made plays against, right? So to me, if Quinyon Mitchell doesn't win Defensive Rookie of the Year, it'll be an absolute shame. And the NFL is rigged. I'm talking about a player who literally has shut down one side of the field. Darius Slay has seen more targets than Quinyon Mitchell, right? Scary Terry was nowhere to be found the first game against the Commanders because Quinyon Mitchell took him out the game. All right, so that's something that I'm looking at. Mike, I got your comment coming up next. Amen says Nakobe is hurt with a doubtful with the abdomen, and Oren Burks will take his place if he doesn't play. Okay. I mean, I'm not mad at Nakobe. Again, he's played very, very well, great football. You know, again, we're at that point of the season where guys just going to get nicked up, guys are going to get banged up, right? So he's another guy we need to get healthy. We need Nakobe Dean. Owen Burks, nah. Owen Burks, to me, he's just another body. To me, he's a special teams guy. And to be quite honest with you guys, this is something that has frustrated me. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but honestly, this entire season, when certain starters, not all starters, but when certain starters go down and they're hurt and they get injured, and we put in guys that we sign off the street or signed to free agency, as opposed to giving those same reps to guys that we drafted, like Jeremiah Trotter Jr., like, what's my guy, Sidney Brown. We drafted him 2 years ago. And if C.J. Gardner-Johnson goes down, he's not getting those reps. C.J. McCollum is getting those reps. So, 1 second, my guy Jeremy, huge Eagles fan, hit me up. Yes, sir. He's out there right now with his family out Wyoming, showing that Eagle love, man. That's what's up. But, yeah, man, I think, for me, give me Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Like, give me Trot. Like, Trot made a hell of a play. He made a hell of a tackle against Ed McCaffrey's son, Luke. Oh, man, he popped him. Boosh! Luke did one of those. I mean, he came down and laid the wood. Pause. Right? So, to me, I don't understand the philosophy. I'm not going to question Vic Fangio and what he's doing with this team. Obviously, we're number one for a reason. But to me, it does seem a little off. Like, should Jeremiah try to have to get in the game in the playoffs, he wouldn't have any reps. Like, all he has is preseason reps. I think the only thing that Vic Fangio, I think he could have did a little better with just sprinkling in the younger guys in just a little bit more. Not too much, but just give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit of more Trot. I think he could have did that for sure. Mike says Quinyon Mitchell is leading in defense rookie of the year. Man, he got to win. Hey, Mike, he got to win. There ain't no ifs and buts about it. What's greater? Like, let's talk, like, what's really greater? 4 sacks for your football team, that's great. You showed the ability to get to the quarterback 4 different times, right? Out of 17 games, you got to the quarterback 4 different times. 4.5, let me not steal it, right? But 4.5 sacks, or would you rather have a young player that Quinyon Mitchell literally disrupts the entire offensive play calling for teams? Like, I remember there was this play where Jaden Daniels, he was in a shotgun and he dropped back and he looked left. And Quinyon Mitchell, I mean, he had Scary Terry on seatbelt. He had Scary Terry like this. And Jaden looked to him and he just, I'm going another way. Let me go find Zach Ertz. Right? Let me go find Zach Ertz. And it was a reason why Zach Ertz did great in that game. I think he had like 4 third down conversions. It was something crazy, some high number like that. It's because Quinyon Mitchell took their best player out the game. When you have a rookie, right, playing one of the hardest positions, right? One of the hardest positions in all of football. And we know this to be true. Now, out of Toledo, too, let's add that as well. He could have went to Alabama. Nick Saban wanted him. Nick Saban said, I wanted Quinyon Mitchell to jump into the transfer portal. I was going to throw millions of dollars at him, and we were going to try to get him over to Alabama. He didn't want to come. He stayed with Toledo. So Jared Verse, he goes to Florida State, so he's able to play against the Georgias. He's able to play against the Alabamas. He's able to get those reps, right? But when you look at Quinyon Mitchell, for Q to do what he's doing at Toledo and then come and play big boy football at the NFL level, to me, I don't see how you don't give it to him. Quinyon Mitchell, he has to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. If he doesn't, it's a scam. If he doesn't, it's not real. It's not real. Mike says Sidney Brown was injured. That's the only reason why he didn't get in the game. Yeah, but there was another time. I think the game before. It was the game before, Mike, where I think, was it Reed Blankenship? I think Reed Blankenship went down. And they didn't even put him in. They put C.J. McCollum in. And you had Sidney Brown. Because I remember C.J. McCollum was in the game. And I saw Sidney Brown coming down covering punts. So, listen, number one defense. I'm not complaining. It's just I want to see some of these younger guys get some reps. The Jeremiah Trotters of the world, Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown has, a year or 2 left on his contract? The Philadelphia Eagles need to figure out, if this is somebody we're going to keep. If he's somebody we're going to keep, we got to figure it out, right? You can't keep – I would throw Keely Ringo in that conversation, right? Now, if Darius Slay retires – I think the secondary is Keely Ringo, Quinyon Mitchell, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Reed Blankenship, and Cooper DeJean. I personally like Keely Ringo. He's still a super young guy. He hasn't Has he gotten beat? Like, there are some players, when they get beat, it's like, okay, they got beat. But some players like Sidney Jones you guys remember the cornerback that we drafted out of Washington? Sidney Jones, man, I think he played the Seahawks. Oh, my goodness. DJ Metcalf, oh, my goodness. He got beat bad. And you could tell it was messing with his mental. It was so bad. So, Keely Ringo, for me, he's a player that I think the Eagles need to continue to give reps. He's made plays. He's had a fumble recovery. Remember this season, what's my guy? Number 34, Isaiah Rodgers had the block punt. Keely Ringo goes to scoop it up and takes it to the house, right? So when a young guy, when he's making plays like that, you can't just say, you got to give that more. You got to grow that tree. You got to keep watering that plant, right? And letting that guy get more reps. Shout out to everybody that's in the freaking chat right now. I really appreciate you guys.
That's how you play Eagle football.
That's how you play Eagle football. 13 of you guys are here, man. 35 minutes in. We talking about the Birds, Dallas Cowboys, man. We are rocking and rolling. Really excited about it. Let's get to these comments. Eamon. Let's go. Eamon says, by the way, why the hell is Nick Sirianni talking to Zach Ertz? Nick is definitely me when I was in the kitchen and my mom saw the results, and I never was loud in the kitchen against Zach Ertz over Nick Sirianni. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, Eamon. We talked about that the whole thing. Mike was saying that he loves it. Mike said, look, man, I don't care about Nick Sirianni talking to Zach Ertz. I love the trash talk. I actually bring that back. And I agree with Mike. I think that needs to be our way. Like, we need to be the bullies. Like, I love that game that we played against Baltimore and the Steelers. Like, those two teams are historically, physically tough teams mentally, but also physically. And the Eagles, we gave it to them, right? And so, my thing with Nick Sirianni addressing Zach Ertz, who is an Eagle legend, and I think we all can agree, is like, Nick Sirianni is not contributing to the Philadelphia Eagles as he should. If we go back, let's go back. Nick Sirianni was brought in as the head coach, and he had the offensive coordinator play calling responsibilities. He no longer has that. So how do you fix your mouth to speak to a former Super Bowl champion and tell him what he did not do to contribute to his team when you are, you have a question mark over your head, right? So for me, you guys know this. I say it every week. Nick Sirianni is a great guy. I think the Philadelphia Eagles can be better. I think they could be better if they had better coaching. If they had a more veteran, the Eagles have the kind of roster that games like Atlanta, games like tomorrow against the Cowboys, we have an expectancy to win because, the coaching staff, they've seen it all, they've done it all, and they understand what teams try to do to, get you off your square, and they're just not having it, right? When teams are so disciplined and they're coached well, it doesn't matter what football naturally presents because they already have covered their bases, so to speak. So, me personally, I think the Eagles could get better. Nick Sirianni, the Philadelphia Eagles roster has elevated Nick Sirianni, not the other way around. Nick Sirianni, as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach, he's never elevated the roster. And to me, I have no value in that. Like, if you can't make my roster better, and I have to give Jalen Hurts all of these pieces, and you can't, to me, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Nick Sirianni doesn't. We just have a good roster. And I think Jeff Stoutland could be the interim head coach, and the Philadelphia Eagles will win games. Honestly, I really do. I don't think right now, when you look at our roster, you got to ask yourself, is it really hard to be the Eagles? Is it hard to be the head coach? I don't think so. I don't think it's hard to be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. So, you know, and to be honest with you guys, since we're talking about Nick, you know, he is. It's not our offense. It's not Kellen Moore and can his offense get in rhythm? To me, as we go into the playoffs, Nick Sirianni is the big question mark. It's not Jalen Hurts. It's not this running game. It's not this. Dare I say it? It's not, you know, Jalen Hurts trying to get on the same page as A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. That's going to work. That's going to happen. To me, Nick Sirianni is the big question mark because you're going into the playoffs, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm saying to myself, like, yo, Nick, just stay out of the way and don't do anything that I wouldn't do. Don't do anything that Bill Belichick wouldn't do. Like, you just hope and pray. You got to cross your fingers that Nick Sirianni just doesn't do anything stupid, right? Like, you know, you can't be arguing with Jalen Carter in the playoffs because he's, you know, he's freaking motivated. He's fired up because it's win or go home, right? So you can't. What we did in the regular season, arguing with the players, taunting players, doing all of that stuff. Like, Nick, you're not putting the pads on, man. You literally, Nick, sometimes I believe he tries to live through his players. And I know that to be true because he often talks about, you know, his family and his dad and his brothers. And you could tell his family is very surprised that he's in the position that he is. And so he tries to allow his family and to allow, not that there's anything wrong with it, but you could just tell emotionally Nick Sirianni tries to allow a lot of people in his circle to live through him as a head coach. Much like a father would want to live through his child. It's kind of a verse. So to me, you know, Nick Sirianni, if he could just stay level-headed, if he could just be what the Eagles need, you know, one thing that Nick Sirianni, you know, that he didn't do in the Commanders game that I saw Dan Quinn do, you know, when the Eagles went up 14-0 against the Washington Commanders. 1 second, guys. Let me get back. Let me see. When the Eagles went up 14-0 against the Washington Commanders, I saw Dan Quinn on the sideline, and he was talking to Louvu, and he was talking to Bobby Wagner. And they were standing like right next to him. And I could tell like he really was like really making sure that the defense didn't fall apart. Because at this point, Saquon Barkley had already eclipsed 100 yards in the first quarter with 10 minutes left to spare, right? So he's talking to Louvu, he's talking to Bobby Wagner, and he's keeping those guys mentally in the game. Like, hey, guys, look, I know we're down 14-0. I know the offense is struggling. Obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles have the #1 rated defense. But I need you two to hold it down, right? And so though the offense was spiraling out of control, he had enough wisdom and enough emotional intelligence to sit up there and say in real time, you know what, let me get with my best defensive players. Let me make sure my defensive leader, Bobby Wagner, and my other defensive leader, Louvu, that they don't bring the intensity down, right? That they keep the intensity high and they continue to give the Eagles everything that they can handle. Pause. And so that's something that I feel Nick Sirianni is going to have to do in the playoffs. If the Eagles are down 14-0, we don't need you yelling and trying to out-scream and like prove that you're the head coach. We need you to take off your head coaching hat in that moment and say, you know what, Jalen Carter, you're a beast. I know that we're down 14-0, but you've been a leader this entire season. Go out there and get me a play, right? Quinyon Mitchell, you've been a dog. You're the defensive rookie of the year. Cooper DeJean, if you didn't get hurt, you probably be, man, listen, if Cooper DeJean didn't get hurt and Quinyon Mitchell played week 1, Cooper DeJean played week 1, I'm telling you, the Philadelphia Eagles probably would have broke. I don't know if this has ever happened. I'm sure this happened, especially with, I think, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Ravens, maybe with Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. But I could see Quinyon Mitchell leading the race of Defensive Rookie of the Year and Cooper DeJean being right behind him. Like, that's just how impactful those two guys have been, right? Like, you see how bad the secondary looks when we have Avonte Maddox out there, right? So, but you see how great we are now being the number one rated defense with Cooper DeJean in his place. The Eagles they don't have the number one rated defense with Avonte Maddox. They just don't. It's a fact. He's getting cooked. So that's just what it is. So, I just need Nick Sirianni to be. I need his emotional IQ and football IQ to be on a different level. When Nick's is weird because when Nick Sirianni is emotionally operating at a high level, for some reason he's operating at a high level football wise, which is very weird. I've never had the observation with any other coach. Think about Andy Reid. When Andy Reid is operating at a high football IQ, everybody is they're patting his belly, they're jumping on his back. He has that emotional, he can tap in emotionally, so. Melvin Gilmore said, Pablo, Gary, you're the man. Go Birds. Nah, Melvin, that's all you, man. Appreciate you guys for stopping by, man, and showing love, man. Fly, Eagles, fly. You know what, sis? Let's go ahead and let's get one of these in there.
Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Go Birds, baby. Go Birds. Shout out to my man Melvin. Melvin is in here. Mike, what's going on? My man Mike said the reason why you don't see the interaction with Nick is because the NFL cameras men don't show it. I don't know if I agree with that. So they can't catch it for, 16 games in? 16 games in? And I'm not saying that Nick Sirianni, he doesn't have the ability to do it. I'm saying instead of arguing with fans, instead of going back and forth with fans in the stands, you need to be doing something or figuring out how you can help guys get better in real time in the game. That's all I'm saying is I noticed the Commanders head coach Dan Quinn, when his team was losing, he said he had enough emotional intelligence to say, you know what? This is not the time for me to yell. This is not the time for me to do this. I've never seen Nick Sirianni, after Jalen Hurts throwing the interception, go sit down. But and hear me now. I'm talking about since Nick Sirianni has been removed from offensive play calling duties. I'm saying, can you really ask yourself as an Eagles fan, what has when you take something away from somebody, right? You got to replace it with something. So the Eagles took the offensive coordinator position. What has Nick Sirianni done that you can say to yourself as a fan, all right, he's not calling plays, but he's doing this better. He's not doing this, but he's doing that. And so that's my thing. I've watched Dan Quinn from afar. He wasn't doing that his first stint as a head coach, right? He's learned. And so for me, I'm just hoping that Nick Sirianni has learned to motivate his players. Mike says, nah, Brody, Andy Reid gets bailed out by Pat. Nobody can convince me Andy isn't a choke artist. I agree with you, but Mike, let me ask you a question. How old are you? Mike, how old are you? Mike, I'm going to say, Mike, you can't be no older than 25. Maybe 25 to 29. How old are you, Mike? Because Andy Reid, he does get bailed out, Not only by Patrick Mahomes, but by the referees. But Andy Reid, he listen, when you take the Philadelphia Eagles and you go to 5 consecutive NFC championships with Freddie Mitchell, Todd Pinkston, L.J. Smith, Donovan McNabb, and Brian Westbrook, I got to give you your respect. I got to give you your respect. Amos says, can you show the Sidney Brown 99-yard pick 6? I don't think I have that. I don't have it, but I'll definitely show it the next time for sure. But yeah, but that was crazy. Hold on. Actually, let me see. Let me see if I can look it up. Hold on. Let me see. Real time. Let me unlock this. Hold up. Let me see. See if I can do it. Oh, y'all might be in luck. Y'all might be in luck. Let me go here. Let me go here. Let me go here. Go here. Let me go Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown. 99. Sidney Brown, 99 yard. I think I could do it. Big Dog Reese, I see your comment. Here we go.
One-on-one Wilson. Miscommunication and a pick for Sidney Brown.
Woo! Them wheels is churning.
Got room. Cuts it back. Inside the 40. Now he's upfield. He goes all the way for the Eagles touchdown.
Yeah. E-A-T-O-E-S, Eagles.
One-on-one Wilson. Miscommunication and a pick for Sidney Brown. And Sidney Brown's got room. Cuts it back. Inside the 40.
Watch it.
Now he's upfield. He goes all the way for the Eagles touchdown. 98 yards.
Woo! Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. See, that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, give me that. If CJ McCollum goes down or CJ Gardner-Johnson goes down, I need Sidney Jones in there. If he's healthy, let's get him in there. If he's healthy. All right, let's get him in there. But we need that right there, man. Big Dog Reese says McCollum has to go. Sidney Brown for the start. Oh, absolutely. I think we're all in agreement with that. I don't understand. If I could ask Vic Fangio one question, I say, Vic, I got a lot of respect for you. Love what you're doing. #1 rated defense, my man. But why are you not playing Sidney Brown a little bit more? I mean, usually when guys, especially when here's the thing about Sidney Brown. He's making plays on special teams. He's coming down, creating these huge hits, causing fumble recoveries. I'm saying to myself, is he not picking up the system? Is it something that you're seeing during practice that you don't like? Like, what is it? And I think sometimes, Vic Fangio, he's older, right? So he is a little stubborn, and I think he can trust Quinyon Mitchell because he had him in the offseason. He had him during training camp. He had him during preseason. I think what hurt Sidney Brown was his injury, right? The first 6 games, you couldn't really, Vic Fangio didn't build that rapport. He didn't build that trust, right? And what I noticed about Vic Fangio, if you guys paid attention all season long, like the play calling changed, it grew, it expanded more and more and more as players began to make plays because he believed them in and he trusted them. I think that's maybe why. But then again, Owen Burks, he played in preseason. So I don't know. Man. It is what it is. Philadelphia Eagles, man.
That's how you play Eagle football.
We got football tomorrow. Let me get out of here, man. Appreciate you guys for stopping through, man, and showing love. Really, tomorrow, really all I'm looking for is the Philadelphia Eagles to win the game. I'm looking for Saquon Barkley to get the the option to break the record. I really want Saquon to break the record. I would love for him to do it in the Eagles uniform. That would be monumental, as I stated earlier. Saquon Barkley doesn't have to run another down. That contract is solidified. Like when you sign a guy to $35 million in that first season, he comes in, he go ahead and almost puts up 2,000 yards, which some running backs don't do. They need 2 seasons to do. You know, basically, Saquon Barkley, his contract is for 3 years, but basically Saquon Barkley has played 4 seasons. All right. If you look at the stats, he's played 4 seasons because 2,000 yards. Some running backs you got to do 1 year. They need time to do it in 2024 and 2025. So basically, Eagles got him 4 year, $35 million, basically. Amon says, is it just me or the Eagles have a history of playing undrafted players over picks? Like in 2023, we put Eli Ricks over Keely Ringo. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know what that thinking is. That's that stinking thinking. That's that stinking thinking, man. I don't know what that is. You know, I'm glad that you talked about guys that we drafted. Obviously, man, doesn't it suck? Brandon Graham, bro. 2 games. You guys think Brandon Graham is going to come back next year? I don't know. Especially if the Eagles win it all, he's done. He's done. But, man, to think that Brandon Graham only has 2 regular season games, shout out to BG. You know, but as we talk about the veterans retiring, I'm excited, man, to start dropping this NFL mock draft content. We're not there quite yet. Still have a long way to go. Still got to get to the Super Bowl and do all of that because I believe that we will. But I'm excited to do the mock drafts. And, you know, the Philadelphia Eagles, there's a lot of talent coming out in this draft. And because there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks that's going to go early, that's going to push all of that talent down to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. So let's go. Carlos says, hold on, I can't see your message. Carlos says, 1 second. Carlos says, salute fam. I believe the Birds need to be economical with the offense, more Westbrook type of plays, intermediate passing, play action, and dink and dunks. Our defense will shut them down 20-3. Absolutely. I agree. And I'm gonna be honest, like I don't understand. You guys remember when the Eagles, we were like known, like this was our style. We'd come out, it would be nothing for McNabb, right, to hike that ball. And you just knew, right, John Runyon, right, and Ty Hermans, they was going out for the screen, and McNabb would dump it out for the screen pass to Westbrook. I miss those plays, man. I really do. I wish we would bring that back. You know, I really do, man. I think that would really help us. Mike says, man, I just wish the refs don't beat us in the playoffs. Jalen Carter hasn't had a holding all year. Same with Hurts. Hadn't got a rough and pass all year. Yeah, Mike, what's crazy is how do you get knocked out for a concussion but there's no penalty? I think moving forward, like in the future, if a player gets knocked out, if he has to sit a play out or he's out the remainder of the game for a concussion, automatic penalty, automatic 15-yard penalty, right? They say you can't hit the quarterback in the head. Obviously, he got hit in the head if he has a concussion, right? So it is what it is, guys, man. I'm getting ready to go out, man, take the family out. We're going to the National Harbor, man. We're going to go to Sakatage, get something to eat. I love me some good old Sakatage, man. But thank you guys so much, man. Consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We are almost crossing that 2,000 subscriber mark, man, and we couldn't have done it without you guys, man. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Just know we're all going to be on the same wavelength. We all going to be on one mind come tomorrow against the Dallas Cowboys. Ultimately, guys, and I think you guys will agree with me when I say this, we just want to get to the playoffs healthy. I think that's it, man. It would be awesome if Saquon Barkley would break the record. It would be awesome if Quinyon Mitchell had 10 picks in the game. But honestly, all of that means nothing if you don't get to the playoffs healthy. We got BG coming back. We got Bryce Huff coming back. He's back tomorrow. Let's see what he can add if he can give Nolan Smith and I think Josh Sweat is even hurt. So I think, he'll have some opportunities to get some reps now that Josh Sweat is down. So I think ultimately we just want this team to get to the playoffs healthy. Carlos says before we go, if Saquon gets at least 170-80, I say play him first half versus New York and let the cards fall where they may. Absolutely. I think we said that earlier, Brody. We said, if I was Nick Sirianni, I say, hey, Saquon, we're going to give you an opportunity to break the record, but we're not going to allow you to play the entire game. You have the first quarter and the second quarter to break it. After that, we're going to pull you, right? So that gives him the opportunity to break it, but then it also saves his body long term, man. So like Melvin Gore said, man, he said salute to everyone in here. Let's go. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys, man. And we already know who the real boys of the NFC East is. That's the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Love y'all. Until next time, go Birds.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Boys. Yeah. Hold on. We them boys. We them boys. Hold on. We making noise. Hold on. We them boys. We them boys. We making noise. We them boys. Pop a bottle. If you suck and swallow, smile at me, don't worry, man, gon' follow. Throwing money on her like she won a lotto. So he must be serious. Scared of heights, come face your fears. Hold up. Do it just like Nikki, gone and bend it over. Say she never smoked, I turned her to a stoner. Young, but I'm ready. Oh, foreign girls call me sexy. And white girls give me Becky. But first I gotta roll this joint, baby. Hold up. We them boys. We them boys. We making noise. Hold up.
Then move in zones, go. Off the sideline, a touchdown, and put on the show. I had to kick off and go. I had to kick off and go.
That's how you play Eagle football.